the lessons for me over 22 years on working on these issues is one must learn about the mistakes that we've made in Iraq and in Afghanistan and Libya. Okay? One must learn about the mistakes that we made in Vietnam, mistakes that we made in World War II.
So we can make them all over again in
Well,
Iran this time.
Can I finish or?
Go ahead.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So I think that what President Trump is trying to do is learn, but not overlearn. Right? I think he understands the mistakes that have been made. I think he's trying to rectify those mistakes. And he also understands that American power is important. It is a force for good in the world, even though we have made major mistakes. I think there's a great danger among certain people to believe that no power should ever be exercised, that all American power is a bad thing and a destructive thing, and sometimes to confuse major tactical decisions, right, that have been made, whether it's been made by the Brits in World War II or the Americans or us or whoever it is in whatever war, with the fact that there is a strategic reality that we always have to be conscious about, and that we have enemies. Right? This is not the Garden of Eden yet. I hope the libertarians create one. I want to go live there when they do, and Scott and I will be neighbors, believe it or not, living in that Garden of Eden together. But there are major threats in this world, and we need to find the right balance between the overuse of military power and the underuse of military power. If we want to avoid wars, we have to have serious deterrence, because our enemies need to understand we will use selective and narrowly focused, overwhelming military power when we're facing threats like an Iranian nuclear weapon. That is a serious threat. It's a serious threat to us. It's a serious threat to the region. It's a serious threat with respect to proliferation around the world. And I think with that respect, I think President Trump's decision to drop bombs on 3 key nuclear facilities was a selective, targeted military action that I hope will drive the Iranians back to the negotiating table, where they can negotiate finally the dismantlement of their nuclear weapons program. Right? I think there's a danger.
Nuclear weapons program.
Again, we've had a 4-hour debate on this, so I'm sure if you want to rewind, you can listen to all our arguments once again. But the fact of the matter is that our unwillingness to use power, if we're never going to use power, all that's going to do is send a signal to our enemies that they can do whatever they want. They can violate whatever agreements they want. They can use aggression against anyone they want. And I think that puts American lives in danger. And we've seen the results of that, where we delayed and delayed and delayed, and we didn't move too early, and we didn't preempt, and the threat grew, and we ignored the gathering storm. And so I think the lessons of 100 years of American military involvement is, if you have an opportunity early on, as the storm is gathering, to use all instruments of American power, with the military one being the last one you use, then deter when you can and strike when you must, in order to prevent the kinds of escalation and wars that everybody at this table, and I'm sure everybody listening in your audience, is seeking to avoid.